Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm the developer of RightTool, and these are my favorite things about the Pro version of RightTool. First, you no longer have this little right side ad here. It gives you a lot more room on this toolbar, and it's just nice not to have an ad. Next, let's go to my favorite thing about Pro, and let's go to the register page. You'll notice that there is now a button that says batch underneath the thing that says date for sorting that date. If I click on that, you'll see that checkboxes pop up underneath all of these transactions. And I also noticed that some of these transactions don't have a location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift button and select all the things in between the last two things that I clicked on and scroll back up to the top and press edit. Here, I'm going to change the payee, the memo, and the location, but I could change literally any of these fields if I wanted to. And once I do that, you'll notice that you get a dark red or a dark black border around the things that you're trying to change. So for payee, I'm going to say AAA vendors. For memo, I'm going to say changing payee and location. And for the location, I'm going to change it to Amazon. Press confirm batch, press OK. And you'll see you get these things that say transactions saved. Some transactions take longer than others to save, so just be a little bit patient with that. And then sometimes you'll get these little warnings. Just click yes. And once everything stops for a bit and you can see all the changes, it means everything has finished. And so what we can now do is we can see AAA vendors, non-US e-commerce, Amazon, and the memo is changed. Very quick. Very easy. Makes it so that even though there's not really a mechanism for that inside of QuickBooks Online, we kind of created one for that. You can also come in here, and if I wanted to, I could select a bunch of things and batch delete them by doing this. It says you're about to delete this number of transactions, totaling this amount. You press OK, and then it gives you yet another warning just to be absolutely sure you're not deleting something you don't want to. I'm going to cancel here because I don't want to screw up Hector's file. And this works really fast. It's much faster than editing transactions, so it'll pretty much be done instantaneously. Next, let's go to the journal entry because a lot of our cool features are up inside of here. And the first thing I'm going to look at is this thing that looks like a little copy icon, but it's actually for pasting from Excel. It'll open up all of these drop downs so that we can get the information for this account because we do not store any data and we do not have API access. So we have to find all of these things ourselves. If you are a nonprofit or an e-commerce, you might have tons of customers. Because of that, it might take a minute or two for this page to pop up, but trust us, it's working. You just have to wait a little bit. Now I'm going to come into my journal entry and I'm just going to select everything except for the header of this journal entry, copy it, and just paste it into this little box right here. If everything's green, it means we're good to go. If it is yellow, it means that, hey, we have found multiple things this could match with. Please select one. And then finally, if it's red, it means we do not know what this is trying to match to. We are just going to skip this particular one. I'm going to now press run it, and everything almost instantaneously shows up inside of this journal entry. I recommend selecting one line just so this total thing will add up, and you can see here where we skipped that one line because it was red. The next thing is a very cool feature. It works inside of every type of transaction, which is if I come over here and let's say that I want this location for everything below line 3 to be Canada. I can select Canada right there and then click on this little copy down button right here. Press OK. And everywhere on this journal entry below where I clicked now has non-US Canada on it. And this works for any of these columns, by the way. Next, there is this little icon that looks like a magnifying glass. Let's say instead of adjustment for balance, I want to change it to adjustment for June. So I find balance, replace it with June, click replace all, and now all the descriptions have been changed that quickly. It would also change that inside of the memo as well. I know during my bookkeeping days, there were times when I'd have bi-weekly or monthly transactions that I would copy, and then I'd have to go in and change each one of them to the correct dates. That was one thing that I remember doing a lot of. So this was a really nice feature that we were able to put in that would have helped me a lot back in those days. Finally, I just want to go into the bank feed to show my final favorites, which is, first of all, if you are inside the bank feed and you put anything in a bank account that is in parentheses, it will show up underneath the card in red text. So here, because we have equipment in red text, equipment shows up underneath the card. Not super helpful for maybe this particular account, but here we can see this Amex, Amazon business card, what have you. And instead of having to hover over it to find out what the credit card's name is, I can actually see what the last 4 digits are because I put them in parentheses. Super nice when you have sub cards for a particular type of card that you have. You don't have to constantly be checking or trying to remember anything. And since we're already in this page, one final thing is you can see here where, this says ATM withdrawal. This is what QuickBooks' guess is for what the description is. But we also have in red underneath it something that tells you exactly what came through from the bank feed. So an example here of one that might be helpful is, origin name Ticketmaster. Here you can see, oh, this is the whole details of this particular transaction coming in from the bank feed. Hopefully that gives you a clear idea of what Pro can do. We have plenty of other things, including AI is being added into it, and just a whole bunch of things to make your life easier.